If you're in the Netherlands during the autumn season or just wondering what activities to do, I've got you covered. Here are some of my favorite things to do and suggestions. I highly recommend heading to the annual Bock Beer Festival in Utrecht. Here they have delicious beers that you can try from throughout all of the Netherlands. They have live musical acts, food trucks, and it's just overall super gezellig. You're sitting there with good company, listening to live rock and acoustic, sipping delicious beers, and I just found it super cozy. One of my favorite things to do is to head to a local farm and go apple picking. The farm we went to had an apple orchard, a petting zoo, and even a pumpkin patch to pick a variety of gourds. We came across different varieties of apples like Elstar, Young Gold, and Golden Delicious. And of course, after picking, I believe about 6 to 13 kilos of apples, we had to make an apple tart. I don't know, you guys, I think it was because we picked the apples ourselves, but I kid you not, the apple tart that we made was the best apple tart that I've had in my life. Okay, honestly, I've had so many apple tarts living in the Netherlands, but the one that we made, mwah, it was so good. Nothing kicks off the colder season without making Stumpled. Stumpled is a traditional Dutch dish that's made with vegetables, mashed potatoes. It's served with gravy and meat. The traditional Stumpled is boerenkool that's made with kale, but I thought because it's autumn, my suggestion is to make it with pumpkin. So go ahead and take a pumpkin, roast it, and use that as your substitution for the mashed potatoes. And your meat of choice, so we chose sausage, and we made our vegetable of choice to be red kale. What we did is we actually added apple to it, the apples that we had from the orchard, and we added fresh cinnamon. We also added, I believe, a bit of nutmeg and sugar and salt and vinegar, and it just is so good. Don't overlook a visit to a botanical garden. I know what you're thinking. Maybe it's a bit strange to go to a garden when most people go when it's spring and summer, but I highly suggest going because it's amazing to see the variety of flora and fauna that blooms during the fall season. I actually went to Utrecht's Botanical Garden at the university. It's one of my favorite gardens, and during the month of October, I had the whole place to myself. So that was so nice. They have a Japanese garden, a huge pond. They even have a historical bunker there, which is quite interesting, a butterfly house. And it was just so incredibly fascinating to see the different species and varieties of plants that grow specifically from the time period of September to November. You would think that everything's sort of barren, but things like mushrooms, for instance, really start to sprout in the fall season. There is also a plant I forgot the name of that I just thought it was so interesting to see. It was orange, vibrant yellow, and wow, I was there for a few minutes admiring this plant because I never came across it myself. But overall, I highly recommend a visit to a botanical garden. For all my nature lovers, this is the ideal time to go on a forest hike. It's not too hot, it's not too cold, and it's really beautiful to see the foliage change colors. Some of my favorite places to go hiking are the Hoge Veluwe National Park, so I can see wildlife like deer. And I also really like the Hoge. So this has such a varied landscape, and I really love all the small hills because it makes me feel like I really am getting a workout in. Another great thing about being in the forest during this time of year is that it's mushroom season. Mushrooms, or paddenstoelen in Dutch, are best to see when in the forest. So during our hike, we actually came across a variety of species: red, orange, gray, brown, and typically we found them near the edge of the cycle and hiking pathways, and we found so many by the tree trunks. There were hordes and hordes of them. and it was such a cool sight to see. If you would actually like to go mushroom picking, I suggest checking the Dutch State Forestry for their official rules and regulations. Hey guys, if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to give it a like, subscribe, and share with me in the comments below some of your favorite autumn activities. I'll see you in the next one. Bye!